This is Dunc Holder on Sports 1280, New Orleans.
Shout out to Todd T. in Jackson, Mississippi. Regular listener emailed us. Jeff Blake actually went 7-3, and there was a 6-game win streak in that span. So that's what I keep thinking. He didn't go 6-0, but did win 6 in a row.
They started slow. That was my first year on the Saints beat. I think they started like 0-2 or 1-3.
Started 1-3.
Yeah, and then they went on a run, won 6 in a row, and that was kind of magical because that kind of came out of nowhere. That season came out of nowhere, just like 2006.
Yeah, that was Hazlitt's first year. That season definitely came out of nowhere, coming out of the abyss of the Ditka days. Holy cow!
They had a great defense that year.
Look, Roy Glover was incredible.
Look back at that; they had 60-something sacks. I think it's a team record. It'll never be broken. Never in this day and age. It's impossible to get to the quarterback like they did back then. I think it was 66 or 64 sacks as a team. Think about that. That's 3 a game. It's not going to happen.
No. And I'm looking back at that game right now, at those stats right now. Yes, Leroy Glover had 17 sacks. Darren Howard had 11. Joe Johnson had 12. Keith Mitchell had 6.5. Willie White had 5.5.
There were 3 guys with double-digit sacks.
Exactly. Not just like 10, like 11, 12, 17.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. But that was back when teams held the ball longer. Passing game hadn't quite blown up like it is now. It was just starting to kind of take over. And the league has changed now, and it's just harder to get to the quarterback.
No doubt about it. So, okay, we've been talking about free agency, draft, quarterback possibilities, and where do the Saints fall in? We know Drew Brees is coming back. All right, I'll take back my endorsing arson. I'll just do that.
Thanks.
Feel free to just be angry.
Yeah.
Very angry.
Yeah, you want to.
And not damage property that you own or someone else may own. Okay?
Clyde is the voice of reason. Look how serious he
Clyde's
is.
like.
Well, you're not
it
down,
doesn't make sense.
You're not
Don't
down
do
with,
it.
You're not down with arson?
No, I'm not down with arson. I'm not down with desecrating statues and things and stuff. And just don't do it. Don't touch anybody else's stuff. Don't burn your stuff. Don't make a hazard, people. Just don't do it.
All right,
over here.
we're not going to have to worry about that. But, okay, the one quarterback that Peter King is throwing out there for the Saints, Luke Falk from Washington State. He's not a top prospect. Jeff, you might as well look it up where he sits on that draft cube.
That's good point. He is.
He left the Senior Bowl because
round.
his former teammate unfortunately committed suicide, so he left the Senior Bowl. But he was there, so So where is he? Probably a mid-rounder.
Fourth.
Okay. And Peter's saying that he's a precision passer in college, 69, 70, and 67% accuracy rate in his 3 years at Washington State, who could use some development. Now, here's the thing. Even if the Saints draft a quarterback, what are they going to do as far as Chase Daniel? And we know Taysom Hill's not going to go anywhere. Even if he's quote-unquote a quarterback, they're still going to use him on special teams because he was such a good player there. But you could still go get a rookie. And another name that he says wouldn't surprise him is Tyrod Taylor. I'm curious if Tyrod Taylor would want to come to the Saints and just be a backup. And how much would you have to pay him? And he's already got a good rapport, Drew, with Chase Daniel, obviously. And I don't know how much I'm buying that. I don't know.
Well, Tyrod Taylor has a lot of things I like at quarterback. He's obviously a very mobile athlete. He's not accurate as a passer, and that's a prerequisite in Sean Payton's system. You've got to be accurate. That's what Luke Falk has, but Luke Falk is not a really mobile athlete. So I don't think either one of those guys really fits what Payton looks. I mean, just look at the guys he's had in here. Chase Daniel's a terrific all-around athlete, mobile, pretty tight window passer, kind of a guy that anticipates more than just having a big arm. Luke McCown was like that. I think he loves Taysom Hill for his athletic ability. You've got to be somewhat mobile to play in this system, but you've also got to be extremely accurate with your passing.
Well, people would argue that Drew Brees isn't exactly the most mobile quarterback on planet Earth.
He's pretty damn mobile. He's not particularly fast, but he's kind of a phone booth quickness. I mean, the guy doesn't hardly ever. I mean, it's amazing.
All right, mobility
the
and
pocket.
speed, I could get you. Yeah, because he can shift around the pocket and
Yeah, he gets outside the pocket, but that's
true.
mainly like awareness and stuff. He has like a sixth sense. It's amazing how he gets out of trouble.
you
and-
can't
Hey,
teach
we got
that.
an Aldo.
You can't teach that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he's underrated. I mean, one of the first stories I ever did on Breeze back in the day was on his underrated athletic ability. I remember talking to Zach Streif about him. He said he was a really good basketball player in their pickup games.
Well, he's an incredible tennis player.
Right.
Growing up, played baseball.
Baseball.
So he's an all-around athlete. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Soccer.
Absolutely. All right, let's hit the phone lines here. We got a couple minutes before we got to take a top of the hour break. 504-260-1280 is the number. Let's go to Aldo. Aldo, thanks for calling Dunc Holder. What you got?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to tell you, Saturday, somebody asked me who was going to win the horse race, and I told them, I said, bet on the one that Bravo's ride, okay? And hopefully he misunderstood me, and he bet the horse Bravazzo.
Yeah, instead of Joe
Okay?
Bravo.
Yeah.
Hopefully he did
And
misunderstand you.
secondly, you remember Taysom Hill is the second coming of Guido Merkins.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. You tell me. Guido Merkins. Who can forget Guido Merkins?
I can, so it's probably not a good thing. I was expecting you to say he's the second coming of Tony Romo, because that's what Sean Payton did in Dallas. Undrafted quarterback, stashed him, and that was his guy. And he's almost saying
Do
that.
you remember who Guido Merkins is?
I know the name, but it's not like he was some superstar, right?
Exactly.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what Taysom
exactly.
Hill is.
Exactly. Hey, at least Taysom Hill can make a tackle, maybe block a punt, so you got that going
Well,
for you.
that's right. Guido could, too.
There you go. Well,
Hail to Guido.
there you go.
Hail to Guido.
I don't appreciate the phone call.
I've got this. Guido Merkins was a wide receiver, quarterback, and defensive back in the NFL.
He didn't. So he just played everywhere.
Yes, he played 108 games.
I knew the name.
All right.
It's hard to not remember the name.
So he played. So let's see. So I'm looking at this right now on Pro Football Reference. He spent 6 years in New Orleans, 3 years in Houston, and 1 in Philadelphia. In 1982, he only completed 18 of 49 passes
That's not good.
for 186 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, granted, in 1981, he caught 29 passes for 458 yards, averaging 15.8 yards per reception. Had 1 touchdown. His longest was 50 yards.
So Guido it was like the modern day Julian Edelman, or the latter day Julian Edelman.
Yes.
And
He
now
punted?
and now Taysom Hill can be Julian Edelman. Let's do it.
He was quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, punter, return specialist.
Yes.
Water boy. Wash the jerseys too.
That's exactly what this is now. So thank you to the caller for bringing up and invoking the name of Guido Merkins, which clearly Taysom Hill will be.
And remember last week when I was reading off those approximate values and that Breeze was up around 20. The best season of Guido Merkins' career, he had a 4.
Good enough. Taysom Hill could get over a 4. Hour number 1 is up. Hour number 2 is on the way. We'll talk college baseball also in the next segment and have a good time here. Let's go.
As always.
Exactly. So on a Monday here, Sports 1280, NOLA.com, and the iHeartRadio app. Dunc Holder.